And here we have the Trangia Mini. Most people keep the polythene insert to protect the frying pan. This is very handy. It's very thin, so it means that the lid will click on. But I've always wanted to get a multi-disc, just like you have for the 25 and the 27. And there we have it. This is a prototype. It just fits in. It's a bit difficult to get out if you don't manage it to get it at the point on the lid. Also, I found this is very thin. As you can see, it's very thin. But I've also found that it won't allow the lid to close. I think newer minis have a deeper lid frying pan. As you can see, this is already, well, this is old. This is just the prototype. I've printed it in ASA filament, which isn't exactly food safe, but it is heat resistant and flexible, as we can see here. If I take all these out, just get them out of the way. It fits on. It's got it there, just enough room. I'm going to bring that in a little bit to give me more space. And I can use it to strain. But it definitely needs just a little bit more of a cutout, so I'll adjust that in CAD. I also put in the name, Trangia. It's quite a long journey. I had to teach myself how to use Tinkercad. I could have drilled all these holes, but instead I used CAD to put it in. It's been ironed on the printer. I use FlashForge Adventure Pro for it. It'll do at the moment, but I will be making a new one in PETG, and I'll probably have to just get the internal dimensions adjusted so that it fits on perfectly into there. It does fit perfectly into the base. I remixed it from a lid for a 27 and just shrunk it down a bit. It's worked out okay for me at the moment, and I'll probably, once I get to the Mark II version, I'll make a video and I'll show you that. I'll be keeping this. I don't want to get rid of it. So, I went and obtained, bought for myself, it wasn't gifted or anything like that, a 3D printer. It's something that I've been wanting for, since they came out, for maybe 15 years. I'd been made redundant, so I used some of the money to invest in that. It's been very useful around the house, and Also, just it's not a toy. It's something that you can actually use to make things that you need in the house and for day-to-day things, and also for cars, anything like that. It's easier if you go to the websites and download the files that other people have made, so that you can then print it off on your printer. I did do a few prototypes of the Multidisk for the Mini. This was one of them. As you can see, it didn't come out that well. This is also in ASA, and I also made one in a white ABS, the form was great. It was just the smoothness wasn't very good. So on the last one that I showed you, I'd actually set it to iron, which made it smoother. When I use a different filament, I'll be able to make it smoother, I think, using the PETG or a silk. The thing is that you have to look at how it reacts to heat and whether it's food safe, etc. So I've also managed to have a look at some other things, which I'll show you now. These are not my own designs. I've downloaded these from Thingiverse and Printables, etc. I found these online and they've been very useful. These, if anyone's got a Durston X-Mid or any trekking pole tent, these are the hiking pole tips, so that you don't put the tip of your hiking pole through the top of your tent if you have it with the pole handle down on the ground. I printed these ones from Flexible TPU. They are thick at the end, and these ones from Rigid Plastic PLA. I have still to decide which is the best. I do like these ones. They're very light. They don't add anything, and they just sit on the end of your pole and keep them in with your peg bag, and away you go. And talking of tents, just out of a bit of fun, I printed off a tent peg. It's strong, made of ABS, or in this case PLA. ABS will be stronger. You can also get ones that have got carbon in them to make it even stronger. Obviously I wouldn't be using this in rocky soil, so that the idea of taking it was just to have a look at it and see how it is. And I use a lot of Y-shaped pegs, and pushing them in with your foot isn't always ideal. So this works perfectly, and it just slots over the top, either the ones that are shaped like the V or the ones with the 3 with the Y. Slots over the top, and you can push it down with no problem of damage to your hand or even your foot. If you want to, you can put it on and then put it on your foot. I printed this in an orange PLA, so I've always been able to find it. And the same, I have a lot of whistles. I always carry a whistle for emergencies. Usually I have one in my pocket, one in my pack. This is very loud. I'm not going to do it now because it will set the dog off. And it has a hole for a lanyard as well. It works. This is a bit bulkier, but there are smaller ones. This is called the Tick Be Gone. I usually carry a tick card, but they're a bit fragile on the corners and can sometimes break. and this will slot underneath most normal size, not nymphs, and you'll be able to slowly prise it open, and it's springy at the end. You can just add it onto your key ring if you want, and you can make it bigger or smaller as you require. I quite like that one. Now this one I've got to, when you have, if you store your gas canister in your pot, this is a flexible little buffer that stops it rust or scratching if you have a hard anodized. It weighs a couple of grams maybe. I use it mainly just when I have it, if I have it for long-term storage. Otherwise I'd have a cloth underneath anyway. But it's a nice little idea. The only thing is you do have to scale it for different gas canisters. Make it bigger or smaller. And talking of gas canisters, these are our feet. I printed off 4, you only need 3, and they just clip on the bottom like so, and makes it stable. Once I've also got to make some caps, but I'll have to load up more TPU for that because it needs to be flexible. But that's nice there. And this one is printed in 4 parts, and it just clicks together, no bolts needed. Different size, in small or large. And it just clips on. That is ideal. These things sell for about 7-8 euros online. It probably cost me cents to make, and I have the filament anyway. And it fits in to your pot quite well. That would probably take maybe about 3 hours to make. Now, I carry my Etrex 20 for navigation, as well as a map and compass. Talking of compasses, I've also made caddies for the doors. I'll show you a picture up here to hold 2 of the compasses that I have. These are battery holders. This is the one I carry with my Etrex. It has 2 batteries, AA, rechargeables. Keeps them safe, means that they're not connecting up to each other, and I have them in place. The latches, it isn't that heavy, and it holds the any loops that I use on the Etrex. This one is a different type. It's a screw, and it has 3 AAAs. I don't actually need AAAs now, but I used to use it for my pencil. And if I prefer, I can take 3 AAs in one of these. So that's just some of the items that I've printed off for 3D printing. I'm trying to teach myself to make my own models. I'll see how that goes. It's a work in progress, as you saw with the prototype for the disc for the Mini, and we'll see how it goes. Let me know in the comments below what you think and what would be a good idea for printing. There must be hundreds of ideas out there. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. It's all interaction. Why not give a subscribe to the channel? It costs nothing and means that you won't miss out on any future posts or videos. Thanks for watching, everyone, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.